Hey guys, in this video we're going to be looking at how we can source our own data in Gatsby without the need for a Gatsby source plugin. So we're going to query an API and then we're going to map the result of or the data from that API. We're going to map it to GraphQL queries that we can use within our Gatsby project. Now, if you're not currently aware, I'm currently re-recording my Gatsby and Prismic course. Now that will be done in a couple of weeks. So just to make you aware of that, if you're interested in that new course, keep your eyes peeled because that will be ready within a couple of weeks. So back to the video then. I've already created an example Gatsby project, a bare bones Gatsby project. And if I run Gatsby develop and head on over to localhost 8000 ___ GraphQL, we can see I've just got the bare bones basic GraphQL queries that come out of the box with Gatsby. Now I'm going to use an example API for this quick tutorial, and it's a free API. It's an API based on dogs. So it's called the dog API. All you need to do is sign up for a free API key. Then you're free to use and query their API with some limitations. However, for this tutorial, it's fine for our needs. So we're just going to be using the breeds endpoint to query for a bunch of dog breeds, and then we're going to map all those dog breeds to a GraphQL query and then query those dog breeds via GraphQL. So then by the time we finish this tutorial, in our graphical tool and in Gatsby as well, we'll have an all dog breed query that we can use, as well as a dog breed query. So I've already signed up and got my API key, and I've assigned it to an environment variable in my .env file. I suggest you go ahead and do the same. So in gatsby-node then, this is where we're going to query for our data and map it to our GraphQL queries. So first of all then, we need to require .env and add .config and set the path to our environment variable that contains the API key for the dogs API. So now what we want to do is exports.sourceNodes and set that equal to async and return an asynchronous function there. So we're setting sourceNodes to an asynchronous function, and passed to this asynchronous function then, Gatsby knows to pass specific items in the callback to sourceNodes, so we can destructure actions from this asynchronous function, and the action we want to destructure is called createNode. Let's set that equal to actions. So this createNode is going to be used for each of our dog breeds. We're going to create a node for each of our dog breeds, which means then we actually need to query for our dog breeds. So to query for our dog breeds, Gatsby comes built in with node fetch. So let's const fetch equals require node fetch. So then underneath this destructure create node, let's go const result equals await fetch, and the URL we need, let's take a look in the doggy API. We want to query for, let's go to the test request. Let's copy this URL. So https doggy API /breeds, and we want to set headers because we need to set this X API key. So for the header then, we need to set the X-API-key, set that equal to process.env. Whatever you've called your environment variable for your API key. I've just called mine API_key. So then we need to retrieve the JSON for this result. So let's go const JSON, or actually let's go const breeds equals result.json. And actually this is a promise, so we need to await result.json. So let's go ahead and query then breeds just to see what we've got in our terminal. We may need to rerun Gatsby develop because we've made changes to Gatsby node. So we can see in the terminal, it's console logged an array of all of our dog breeds. And we can see this last one in the console log before the 72 more items. We've got a bunch of data for this particular dog breed. So what we need to do now then is map each of these items in the array to a node in Gatsby. So that's really simple to do. All we need to do is go breeds.forEach. So for each breed, we want to create a node, and we want to use the spread operator here passing in the dog breed, but we need to add a couple more properties to be able to create this node in Gatsby. So the first one is we need to set an appropriate ID for this breed. So we can create an appropriate ID. If we go to the top here, as well as destructuring actions, we also want to destructure createNode ID. So then for the ID, let's set it to createNode ID, passing in breed.id. But then we also want to retain the original breed ID. So let's just set that equal to original ID. So let's set breed.id equal to original ID. Then we also need an internal property. So this is for use within Gatsby. And there's two properties we need to add for the internal object, and that is type. So this is going to be the data type for all of these nodes. So we want to put something like dog breed. Then we need to add a content digest, and we need to set this equal to, at the top here, we also need to destructure create content digest. And this content digest, if we set it first, then I'll explain what it is. If we go create content digest and just pass in the breed in there, this helps Gatsby know if our data has changed or not. So this is for internal use in Gatsby, so it may not actually need to refetch any data if our data hasn't changed. So it can use cache and things like that. So that's the only things we need to do to actually create our own nodes and source it from our own data. So because again we've made changes in Gatsby node, let's rerun Gatsby develop and take a look in our graphical tool now. And there we go, we can see we've got two extra queries. We've got all dog breed and dog breed. Let's go all dog breed, nodes, and we've got a bunch of data we can query for our dog breeds. Let's just query for the name of each dog breed. Let's hit play on that. And there we go, we can see we've got a huge list of our dog breeds. So that is how we can source data from our own APIs and map them to GraphQL queries within Gatsby. So if you found this video useful, please subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up, and comment down below for any other Gatsby or front-end related tutorials that you might want to see from this channel. So with that said, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.